as you look at like Notre Dame, Texas, and Vanderbilt, that woke up this morning like, why the fuck didn't we get in? So we're gonna hit all of that today.
Welcome to the Hood Report, the spot where culture meets competition and we spit real shit.
What up, though, and welcome to the Hood Report, the spot where culture meets competition and where we spit real shit. This is your boy Rod. College football just dropped the 2025 12-team playoff list, and it made a lot of motherfucking noise. The committee woke up the morning after a bunch of violence, the motherfuckers whining, and all type of shit. Some teams got humbled, and there's some other teams looking like as you look at like Notre Dame, Texas, and Vanderbilt, that woke up this morning like, why the fuck didn't we get in? So we're gonna hit all of that today. Joining me today for this crazy shit, this drama, because you got the fighting fan bases and players posting messages on Instagram, and hey, ADs and shit getting in on that shit too. Joining me today as we go through this is going to be our college football aficionado, Eric. Eric back with us for this version of college and will be with us through the course of college. We got my boy Rook. Rook joined us live from the D, giving that Detroit spin, even though Detroit ain't got nobody in. And Mark, live from Vegas, wearing NFL shit because his college team is not in it either, right? Nope. So, hey, but and your boy Rod here. So with that, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna kick this motherfucker off. We're gonna ask questions, and we're gonna base it around the teams that got in and our thoughts on who got in. And then we'll hit real quick. We'll talk what's the one game you're looking forward to in the first round. So starting it off is which of the teams that was griping and whining like a motherfucker had the biggest gripe, right? Would you say it was Notre Dame, Texas, Vandy, or was it a different team? So we're going to start it there. Rook, why don't you go ahead and go first, make this shit hot. Who do you think had the biggest gripe, legitimate gripe, of not making it into the field?
It got to be Texas. Texas or Notre Dame.
Legitimate gripe. Texas?
Yeah,
Texas
or Notre Dame.
Niggas,
I really think it's Notre Dame, honestly. But what's messed up, I told y'all, I don't think Alabama should have been in it, but it is what it is. They'll get bounced off first round.
That's the next question. That's the next question. But, okay. So you think Texas had the biggest argument, biggest gripe?
No, Notre Dame really got the more legitimate gripe. But
okay,
we'll get into it. I know we're gonna dive into that one.
All right, Eric, what do you think? Who had the biggest gripe? Who had the biggest legitimate gripe to not being selected?
Hey, you better not play Penn State.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
No, Penn State lost their chances the day they lost to UCLA. They lost their shot.
Okay.
All right, so you say Notre Dame, and why?
I would say Notre Dame because they ended the season with a winning record. They looked better in some of their games than other teams in the playoff as of right now, i.e. Alabama. But Alabama played in a conference game and played in a conference championship game. Notre Dame didn't. And I'd say Notre Dame is still one of the best 12 teams in the country, even though they're not in the playoff.
Okay. I agree. Legitimate shit. All right, Mark, what do you think?
I hate to agree with everybody, but it's fucking Notre Dame. And let me tell you why Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame because they've been the hottest team, but they didn't won like 10 games straight or whatever.
10 straight.
10 games straight.
They've been the hottest team, and they lost their two losses. They lost to two of the teams that's in the playoff by a total of 4 points. By a total of 4 fucking points.
It's ridiculous.
It is no doubt that it's Notre Dame. It ain't even close. Right. It's Notre Dame, no doubt.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna pile into this too, and I'm gonna say Notre Dame as well. I think, but the skeptics of it, one of the things they say is that if you're Notre Dame, you did it to yourself because you're not in the conference. You want to be in the conference for all the other shit, but in football, you want to pick and choose which sports you want to have in a conference and which ones you don't. And then the other thing that skeptics say, and while I say Notre Dame, I'm just going to play the other side. Contrarian is they say that who do they fucking beat? Now you lost to the two ranked teams that you played. Who did you beat? USC? Who'd you beat? along the way within those 10 games. So,
USC is considered a top 15 team, so that's their best win.
Yeah, I would throw that out. But then, how about all the backlash from Notre Dame? AD, you heard him jump on the other yesterday, and he aired all his concerns on a podcast with fuck, I forget whose podcast he's on. But Rich Eisen. Yeah, Rich Eisen. He jumped on his podcast. So what do you think about that? That and the threats and about, hey, y'all fucked up and it's unforgivable. What do you think about all that shit? With all that warrant and the kind of bitter, hey, we ain't playing no fucking bowl game. Fuck that shit. What do y'all think about that?
I think that's some bullshit.
I think that's cowardly.
I think that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. That's a little kid that lose a game and take his ball and go home and shit. Yeah, that's some bullshit. Notre Dame is way better than that. They have a big program. For them to be doing that bullshit, that was some whole shit right there. That was some bullshit. Yeah. I do think they should have played in their bowl game. I think they got screwed, but I still say what they did after that. You had to man up and you got to go play. Because what about those seniors? So those seniors that just played their last game, they thought they were gonna have another game. Now you telling them, oh, hey, your season's over, bro. I think that's some bullshit. So yeah.
All right. Well, what you think, Rook?
They cheated their seniors. Shit, what happened next year if they don't make it to nothing? What if their year just crumble next year? Yeah. Now everybody had the chance to play in the bowl game this year, and you took all that away from them. Yeah. And the fans was looking forward to it.
Yep.
Were they? Or were the fans hot too?
The fans was hot that they ain't
fans is hot, but you still gonna play your bowl game.
They still want to play their bowl game.
Yeah.
Right. So what? Go ahead, Eric. What are you thinking? I'm gonna throw another question, y'all. After go ahead, Eric. What do you think?
Okay. So you already said something about the seniors. Already said something about the fans, but I think it screws over the university as well because that's money that they would make from a bowl game that they're not getting. So any money that they would have used from that bowl revenue, they would use in TV contracts and resources and recruiting and NIL. They are short of money in those departments if they don't play those bowl games.
They'll make it up.
Then we're not making the playoffs, so let's not play at all. Let's not play at all.
That is Eric, you know what?
Soft, cowardly thing to do.
Eric, that's a great point. But that just shows how sick they are because they turning down that money to say we don't want to play and use it. Usually, you never see motherfuckers turn down no motherfucking money.
Not
only that.
I think the alumni is going to plug them for that money. That's for sure.
Not only that, but it sends a very bad message to the rest of the college football world. Programs like Notre Dame, because it sends the message of if you're not in the playoffs and you do everything that you think you need to do to get into the CFB and yet you still don't make it, you could just opt out of your bowl game and screw over your entire team, your alumni, and your future as a program because you didn't get your way. It sends a very bad message, and it's only going to get worse because there are going to be other teams that are going to pull this very same stunt. Notre Dame's not going to be the first, and it certainly won't be the last.
I don't think everybody can do that, though.
With this, would you guys say, so would you say with this, would you guys say now you would say that Notre Dame needs to now join a conference with the football team or join the ACC conference or whatever other conference if they even going to stay in the ACC? Or do you think, well, and actually they have a rule starting next year where if Notre Dame, it was already signed into the NCAA law, that if Notre Dame finishes in the top 12 ranked teams, they get in no matter what. So that actually goes in place next year. But with that saying, do you think they should get into they should still be pushed into a conference, or do you think they should let it be and go forward with what the plan is for next year? Go ahead, Eric, what do you think?
They have been in talks about joining the Big Ten. That's what I've heard from sources, but I don't know if that's for sure. But even if they don't join a conference, this whole notion of they're going to get in no matter what because they win 10 games or 11 games or 12 games, that is such favoritism because it screws over another group of 5 team. Let's say next year there are 2 group of 5 conference champions, one with 10 wins and one with 11 wins. But the 10-win team, let's say that team is...
Don't go into that just yet. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
All right. I was just teasing that. But it's going to screw over teams with that favoritism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you lock down a spot before they even get there. So what do you think, Rook?
Hood Report Collection by Hood Gear. The Hood Report Podcast, brought to you by Hood Gear.
Yeah, that's BS. That's just we hurt y'all feelings this year, so we'll make it up to y'all next year.
But they'd already signed it before this year, though. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But that make it like they just put the icing on the cake. We played y'all over, so we got y'all next year.
Okay.
And no, they need to be in the conference for sure. They definitely need to be in the conference.
Martin, what you think?
Look,
independent of conference.
Notre Dame should have been in the conference the last 10 years. But the reason why they ain't doing that because of that money. Because they get this extra money by themselves and they just know they get this money and they don't want to share that money. They want that money to themselves. So that's the reason why they haven't joined a conference. But I mean, now as much as I'm saying they should have made it, they should have been in the conference. Now, if they're in the conference, they probably would have made it this year. But the whole thing is about for them is about that money. They don't want to share because they think they Notre Dame and they're big and bad and everybody else. And they just trying to keep all the money to them motherfuckers to themselves. But this year it cost them. It did.
Typical greed.
Yeah.
Typical greed. And I would tell you the whole time along the path, I thought they were getting in no matter what. I thought they ran the table.
Too.
I thought they ran the table, they would be in for sure. So it surprised me when they didn't get in. And quite honestly, all right, the next question leading in, and I'll answer. So with all the hoopla and all the negatives that came from this year's selection, do you think that opens up and warrants one of the big arguments initially? And I would say this one was made by Feinbaum, right? Feinbaum, who's the SEC guy. So all his shit is SEC focused.
Right.
But do you guys think what he said is that the independents and the group of five is kick that bullshit out? And that those guys shouldn't be invited because all they're going to do is get blown out the first week and nobody wants to see that bullshit. So what do you guys think about as an answer to what happened this year? You kick out the group of five.
I think it's such a bad faith argument from him.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
This is the only bad take from him that I've heard. That was just one of the bad. That was a bad. I've heard worse from Feinbaum, but that was a bad one.
I think it just. Yeah, I totally disagree with that. Yeah,
because if you put Notre Dame and the group of five in their own playoff, Notre Dame is going to win that thing the majority of the time. There's not going to be a group of five team that's going to go toe-to-toe with them because you've seen some of these good group of five teams when Navy and Army was good a few years back. Notre Dame just blew them out of the water.
So you're making the argument then, and that's what he's saying, is why would you invite them in if they're going to just get their ass kicked and nobody wants to watch that bullshit because it's not entertaining?
No.
I say despite that, the group of five should still deserve a chance because it's not like FBS and FCS. FCS has their own thing going on. The group of five shouldn't be considered an FCS league because they play power conference teams every other year. In bowl games, they play in bowl games, not the playoff. In bowl games, they play power conference opponents. So what would be the difference? You would still get a blowout no matter what.
All right, let's pivot off. Martin, what you think? You about to say something?
No, I say you gotta. No. I don't like Feinbaum's idea. I think you gotta give these teams. I mean, you gotta give these teams a chance. I always say, I mean, in any sport, and I know football is different than basketball, this and that. But to me, what makes the college basketball tournament so good, you give these small teams a chance, and we see it over and over again. They step up. You gotta get these chances. I mean, you gotta give these teams a chance, even though it don't look good on paper. You gotta give these teams a chance. And hey, ain't nothing like a good underdog story. So I say you gotta give them a chance. So
all right, hey, Rook, what you think about that one, Rook?
I wouldn't get rid of it. I'll keep them in it because with the NIL, all that's changing anyway.
Yeah,
you don't know who's going where. The NIL, they can go to a small school and bring the small schools up.
But you'll still get the best players at the top schools because they're the only ones that can afford the top players.
I mean, not technically, not with the NIL. You can't say that now. It's all depends on where they putting their money into.
Where it depends on. Look, it's like the thing is certain teams aren't going to just be able to pony up with some of the big time talent. Some of the top 10, top 20. Yeah, those little teams ain't getting that. They asked out.
Yeah, but I'll still keep them in here because you can always get an upset.
But the thing is, I can't agree with Rook on this one because you do. I mean, if you're little schools, you do get. Now you're not gonna get the best players per se, but you are getting the backups. Them backups that was on them big schools. You gonna get some of those players.
Yeah, you get some of them. You get some of them.
I mean, and those players gonna make your team better. I mean, because look, like Alabama back in the day, they had 5 stars, second and third string and shit. So now Alabama gonna have those players. The small schools gonna have these players. So I think that makes a major difference.
All right. So then if not, if you're not getting rid of them and you're keeping them in the mix, then the next school of thought is, which is the point that I saw by Heather Dinich, who's the lady that's on with Feinbaum on ESPN most of the time. What she says is that then you should, because they've been talking about expanding to 16 teams. And then one of the things she threw out that was interesting to me. So I'm gonna ask your thought on 16 team expansion. And then one of the things that she threw out is that there's been a school of thought of you go to 24 teams and then you got to play your way into the 12. So that was her thought. So I'm gonna throw that out to you guys. Is like, do you see expansion as the option or the answer if you're gonna keep the little teams, because good teams do sit at home when you got these little bitty motherfuckers going in. So do you expand to 16 or do you do the 24 and have them play you down into the 12 and then you get the 12 team playoff goes from there? So that's the thought. Martin, what do you think? You against it, but tell us what your thoughts are and why.
Yeah, I think going to 24, that's just too many. Yeah, I think that's just too many. If you do want to expand maybe till 16 at most, I think, but 24 will be way too much. The problem is, no matter how many teams you have, whether you're doing 4, whether you're doing 2, whether you're doing 8 or whatever, you always gonna have this controversy about who is getting in, especially in college football, because everybody's not playing everybody, and you got 1,000 teams. So you always gonna have an argument for certain teams in college football.
Right.
But if you're putting it to 24 teams, I just think that's just too many. I actually like the 12. I actually like the 12 the way it is. Because 4, it wasn't, the 2 wasn't enough, that BCS bullshit, and then 4, I don't think that was enough either. I think putting to 12 is a pretty good number. We only tried out these first couple of years. I think let's try to play this out, but we do have to work on the format of how teams getting in and stuff like that. Because now I'm not gonna talk about this because we probably gonna discuss this in a minute by Alabama, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, I just think 12 is good.
Okay. All right. What you think, Eric?
I think 12 is fine. If you really had to expand the playoff, if you're dying to expand it, I would say, like Warren said, I think 16 is the hard limit. Anything beyond that would just be overkill. I've seen RJ Young from Fox say he had a bracket for a 24-team playoff. No, and it's like, ugh. And like anything beyond that, college football would just turn to college basketball at that point, where there's just all these teams in these jumbled up 4 sets of brackets, and you can't really keep track of it all. There's going to be 4 number 1 teams, 4 number 2 teams, and it'll be like, again, how do you keep up with that?
Right. All right.
12 to 16 is the perfect number. Don't expand it any farther than that.
You expand it, Rook, or do you keep where it's at?
I'll keep where it's set, but I'm not. If we got to expand, we're not going no more than 16. If it's more than 16, let's go like March Madness. We don't need college football. Then they got to play every 3 days. So it's gonna be boiling. We don't need that. That's a whole other season.
What they're saying is you expand the bowl system and you do it that way, where the bowl system is the thought. The bowl system becomes that.
I still disagree. Like I said, that's a whole nother season. Yeah. I'd rather just keep it at 12. At the most, go to 16.
Okay. All right. Hey, so with that, last thoughts. We're gonna get ready to close the motherfucker out. Last thoughts on the playoffs. So I would say this. Last question is, what game in this first group of games, not picking winners, is what game are you looking forward to seeing the most? I'll start off by saying I think that Oklahoma-Alabama rematch is gonna be a damn good game. I think that's going to be the game to see. And I think it's going to have good fan value for the first set of games.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
That's a good one.
I got
That's
Miami
still a
A&M.
ticket.
Texas A&M and Miami is the game.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be a good one.
Texas A&M and Miami is the game. Yeah, I think that's the game. Miami is hot now. Texas A&M, they've been hot all year. Lost one game. They lost their last game in Texas. Yeah, I think that's a very good game right there.
Yeah, I agree with that one. What you think, Eric? What game are you want?
I'm on the same boat. Miami A&M. I think that one's going to be an offensive shooting match.
Okay.
But
if it is, then Miami loses. Miami needs to ground pound and keep Texas A&M off the field. They allow it to get up to in scoring. They're not going to be able to keep up with Concepcion and them boys.
But Ole Miss Tulane, I think, is going to be sneaky good. Keep your eye on that game. I think
they blew them out the first time. I don't think they blew on second. All right, Rook, round us out. What do you think?
I'm going with the Texas A&M and Miami gonna be the game to watch. Oklahoma and Alabama is a game I want to see, but I don't care about it because I already know what's gonna happen.
What's gonna happen?
You already know. Oklahoma gonna beat them again.
Okay.
All right. Okay, hey, with that, we've reached the end of it. I think we hit this one pretty good. More to come on this college football shit. You have the same group here. You have Eric joining us. We have Q and others back in. So, hey, we're going to hit this shit hard. We're going to stay close to it. Tweety, Q, all them boys back. But for now, Tweety ain't here. So, Martin, why don't you go ahead and close the motherfucker out for us?
Hey, at Hood Report 2025, like and subscribe all day, baby. We love you. Show us love back. Peace.
What up?